The premium family hatchback segment was one of the most important and fast-growing segments in India before the SUVs and crossovers took over. But when Tata Motors' all-new ALFA platform meets the Impact 2.0 design, this is what we get to kickstart that segment back. I believe the Altroz is the second product of this Impact 2.0 design, and what a looker, and it is having tremendous road presence for a hatchback. Very dynamic. This is one of the very few cars where the use of chrome is absolutely minimal, and my favorite part of the design is this grille protruding outwards. It looks absolutely aggressive and cutting edge, to be very honest. I also really love the blackened treatment given to the headlamps. It really looks, complements the entire non-chrome look. The side profile remains strong thanks to the muscular wheel arches. I also love the smart use of chrome on the outside rearview mirror. Also, for a change, the indicators are not there integrated on the ORVM but are present here. The keyless entry is not there on both the doors but only on the driver's side. So well, it started raining, so I'm holding an umbrella. It's time to talk about the rear. The rear remains complementary to the side profile as well as the front, with absolutely negligible amount of chrome used. And I really love this entire blackened treatment for the rear tail lamps as well as this element out here. If you remember the concept which was shown some time back, the entire production model remains true to the concept, and I really feel two design elements should have been carried forward. One is the protruding cutting edge design which was a part of the actual concept, and the alloy wheel design. These 4-spoke rims are not exactly I'm not a fan of, and I really hope Pratap Bose and team would have incorporated those alloy wheel designs into the production model. Alright, now let's get to the driving part. So this is the first car out of the Tata stable which gets the all-new ALFA platform, and Tata is having big amount of plans with this platform, and it's a very modular platform. It can be stretched, it can be used for a sedan, it can also be used for crossovers as well as the small SUVs, and in combination it can be used with JLR's Omega platform as well to form a new lineup of Alpha Omega products. The E-Vision sedan, which was the complete EV sedan which Tata Motors had showcased, is also supposed to be based on the Altroz platform. So all in all, I believe around 12 to 14 products will originate out of this Alpha and the Alpha Omega combinations, and this is all going to happen in the coming months and the very near future. So let's wait and watch. So let's get on with the engine then. So this is the 1.5 liter diesel which was previously seen in the Nexon. It's a complete in-house developed by Tata engine, and overall there is a backstory to it. So the diesel engine story for the Altroz is that initially it was only available on paper, and only the 3-cylinder petrols were made available. I believe the delays were because of the Bharat Stage 6 transition. So eventually that happened, and by the time it was actually available, the lockdown happened. So that was all around March, April, and then finally around July, when things started to actually open up, the early deliveries of the Altroz diesel happened since around early August. So overall, coming back to the engine, this is a 90 horsepower, 200 Newton meters specification engine, and it has been detuned compared to the Nexon, and that is not a good thing. So, but again, that also has a story, because I believe the Nexon has a 6-speed gearbox and this has a 5-speed gearbox, and I will display the gearbox specification as a reference for you guys. The story of detuning the Altroz diesel was because the gearbox of the Nexon was difficult to package in the Altroz engine bay, and that led to Tata Motors selecting a gearbox from the Iaio. And the gearbox from the Iaio is actually out of the Indica EV2. Performance remains strong. 90 horsepower. You will feel that yes, the Nexon's gearbox was not available, so they had to detune the engine, and you would want to have that 110 horsepower in the Altroz and make it much more fun. But yes, 90 horsepower is a lot still. If you remember the Punto, the Fiat Punto, it was originally the 75 horsepower 1.3 multi-jet diesel engine. That was fun as well. That engine was also in the Swift. And then they had actually launched a sportier version of the 1.3 MGAD with a 90 horsepower tune. So this engine gives me those vibes. The NVH levels and the vibration levels of this particular motor are much better than what it was, what I had actually compared this engine with, which was actually 1.3 MJD 90 horsepower. So multi-jet diesel is a very old technology. It's obsolete. It's been discontinued. So it's not a fair comparison, but obviously it gave me that vibe. So I just thought I'll notify that. So finally, speaking about the gearbox and the gear shifts. So the gear shifts are precise. At the same time, they are. You won't miss any shifts, to be honest. You will definitely be wanting to do more of this activity. Downshifts. Okay, second gear. Right. So that was a good enough demo. That this is just a moderately average gearbox to drive fast. Also the clutch is very light, and it is all good in the city. But when you are driving hard, you need that instant pushback from the clutch, which is not that available. So a light clutch, which has an advantage in the city limits, has a disadvantage when you're driving pedal to the metal. So a lot of people actually ask me, why has Tata Motors not launched an automatic? And the answer to that is simple. There are actually, I have been told that Tata Motors is working on a dual clutch transmission in combination with a petrol turbo. So it has been slightly delayed. Rumors are also there that it might launch the coming festive season. So let's wait and watch. So now is a good time to talk about the suspension. So we are in one of those Tata cars where for a change, the handling overshadows the ride quality, and in a good way, because Altroz has been positioned as a sporty hatchback, and overall I believe that the suspension tuning and also the way the car has been stanced, because the ground clearance is 165 mm, and for a Tata car, particularly a hatchback, 165 mm is aggressively stanced. So that also gives us a clear intention what Tata Motors, how they are positioning the Altroz as. Another few bad patches. So I think overall it's not that the ride quality is bad, because we are so used to the good ride quality, the great ride quality of Tata cars. So this probably makes us feel this is more tuned to the handling side. Not only that, the tires are 185 spec and the wheels are 16 inches. And I believe the air pressure recommendation for the Altroz is 35 psi. That is definitely on the higher side, and probably it has been done to please the folks at ARAI for recording some good fuel economy. But that's again a different story. Just reduce the tire pressure by another couple of psi, maybe 32 psi, I believe it will give a great balance of ride quality, handling, and also the braking performance. Right, so coming to the interiors. So now anyone who had liked the interiors of the Nexon will genuinely love the interiors of the Altroz as well. Not even that, generally speaking, the interiors are extremely well designed. The dashboard slightly on the busier side, but overall it is very ergonomically well placed, and the touchscreen also is not that large. I believe it's a 7-inch setup and has been done by Harman, as well as the speakers, which are a 6-speaker setup. One of the best sounding systems under 10 lakhs, to be honest, and definitely the best sounding for the hatchback, the premium hatchback segment. So yeah, coming back to the touchscreen, it is one of the good setups, and the right size as well. It's not too large. I'm not a fan of large touchscreens anyway. So yes, it is not obstructing the view as well. So it is placed at the right angle as well as the right positioning. So yes, no complaints in the touchscreen department. Also noticed a very unique positioning of the speakers out there on the A-pillar. Not many cars I have seen the speaker placement this way. So yeah, this is one of the most unique arrangement. Again, well designed, well integrated. So it works well with this entire cabin. Thankfully, even though the touchscreen is there, the knobs have been retained, and also the air conditioning system also is very easy to operate. I say this because lately cars have become unnecessarily complicated, and it's always good to see the buttons and the knobs not being replaced by screens and touch screens, because this will always remain user friendly while you're driving. The reverse camera quality, there is a delay for the camera to start, but yes, it remains largely good. It's not great, it's definitely above average. My favorite bit in the interior is this steering wheel, and fantastic, it gives a proper sporty feeling, and something which is flat bottomed may not necessarily be sporty. Some steerings pretend to be sporty, but this is thick at the right places. At the same time, it is a very well designed steering, and it is complementing the dashboard as well. So the rear seat is sufficiently spacious, and I believe the Altroz is the widest hatchback in the segment, and it definitely shows that sense of space in here. And the marketed flat floor is, yes, almost flat, and legroom is sufficient. Again, USP for the Altroz is also the space. It is a spacious hatchback. Headroom is, I am just under 6 feet, so I would say it is almost adequate. Knee room, not at all an issue. I know this seat is, it is not as per my height. I had taken it a bit front. It is not completely front yet, but overall extremely spacious. We do get an rear center armrest as well. For the chauffeur driven audience, this will be always appreciated. So before we conclude things, let's just summarize by balancing out the positives and the negatives, starting off with the attractive looks. The Altroz is surely a handsome looking car both inside and out, and it is a strong positive. The ride quality and handling balance is again well engineered. With 5 stars NCAP rating, it's best in the business, and also complements with a host of features on offer. And my favorite being the Harman 6-speaker system, which is absolutely stunning. Space is another big attraction for the prospective buyers. And now the negatives. No automatic variants is a big miss. Hope Tata Motors has something lined up very soon. The price delta between the petrol and the diesel is too much. This diesel engine deserved a lower starting price, just around the petrol variant. And finally, the 1.5 litre diesel should have received higher state of tune. This chassis deserved it. So definitely one of the major selling points, the USP for the Altroz is the way it looks. It is an absolute stunning looking hatchback. In addition to that, I have no doubt in saying that this ALFA platform will give rise to many more variants. The turbo petrol, the automatic, and also a completely full electric vehicle. But until then, let's enjoy the internal combustion engines in form of this diesel, which is my pick of the current variant lineup. And on that note, thanks for watching.